Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You know how much we love digging into the nitty-gritty of language here, and today's no different.
And we're super excited about this one, right? Because we're talking about those sounds in French that honestly trip up even people who've been speaking the language for a while.
For sure. And especially for our listeners who are using Pronunciator to learn French, this episode is going to be like a secret weapon for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so today we're tackling two biggies in French pronunciation. Liaison, and its kind of sort of counterpart, Elision.
Yeah, and these two little things, they can make a huge difference. Like the difference between sounding like you kind of sort of learned French from a textbook.
And sounding like you actually spent some time, sipping coffee on the Champs-Élysées.
Exactly. So to kick things off, we're going to pull some insights straight from pasted text from the Pronunciator app, which goes deep on this stuff.
Yeah, so let's jump right in with Liaison. Basically, this is where things get a little connected.
Right. It's about linking sounds together. So in French, there's this tendency not to leave a consonant hanging at the end of a word if the next word starts with a vowel.
Like if you were to say les enfants, the children, in English, you wouldn't pronounce each word separately.
Nope. It would kind of blend together like les enfants.
Ooh, I can hear that. Okay, so it's like smoother, more fluid, but why does this happen?
It's all about how the sounds naturally want to flow together in French. It creates this like musicality that's super characteristic of the language.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like, think about it musically hitting every note staccato versus playing them legato.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So that's liaison, linking things up. But now what about elision? That sounds kind of like the opposite.
It is, in a way. It's like the opposite side of that same coin. It's still about achieving a smooth flow, but instead of adding a sound, we're actually dropping one.
Okay, how does that work?
So sometimes you'll have a word ending in a vowel, followed by a word starting with a vowel, and that can sound a little clunky.
Yeah, I can see that.
So what French does is it just gets rid of that first vowel completely and replaces it with an apostrophe. Like instead of saying la mi, which sounds kind of choppy, you'd say la mi.
La mi. Oh, okay, I see. It's like we do that in English too, right? Like when we're speaking casually, we might say gonna instead of going to.
Exactly. Elision is just French formalizing those little shortcuts we take in everyday speech, and it really keeps things moving along smoothly.
Right, right. So to recap, liaison is about connecting sounds, and elision is about like strategically dropping them.
Precisely. And the best part is once you start to get the hang of these, it's like you unlock a whole new level of fluency in your French.
So like you said earlier, right?
Yeah.
The difference between sounding like you learned French and sounding like you actually speak French.
Exactly.
Awesome. So for all you pronunciator folks out there, keep your ears peeled for these subtle sound shifts as you're practicing. You'll be amazed at how much more natural and fluent your French will sound. Until then, happy practicing, and we'll catch you in the next deep dive.